What you see here are Genebank plots for maintaining a field collection of a relative of sunflower. The name of this crop is Jerusalem Artichoke. The scientific name is Helianthus tuberosus, which distinguishes it from the sunflower name, which is Helianthus annuus. These Jerusalem artichokes are a crop that developed in the continental part of Northern America, and sunflowers and Jerusalem artichoke are the only really important agricultural crops that trace the true origin. That means that they have the wild progenitor also in North America. This is a collection preserved by the Canadian Genebank as field collection. Jerusalem artichokes produce tubers similar to potatoes. They flower also, as you can see in this plot here. This is an accession that is a little bit earlier. Each of these small square plots you see here is a different accession of Jerusalem artichoke, and this one in the front here is already flowering, and they produce normal flowers that will also set seeds, but the seed set is very poor. This species has a very poor ability to produce seeds. Even if it can outcross with other material, seed set will be very poor. So it has to be maintained by vegetative plant organs, which are tubers. And here I will see whether we can find some here. Here you see a nice tuber from this plant. So these tubers can be eaten as a vegetable, and they have chemical properties that make them interesting as a food for people with diabetics. There's a lot of variation in the material. If you only look at the earliness, some of the plots are flowering, others are not flowering. Some of the accessions have broad leaves, as you see here, a relatively broad leaf. Others have more narrow leaves. Here an example for a more narrow-leaved type. And other distinguishing features may be plant height. Look at these plots, they are more than 3 meters tall and have not yet flowered. And then you see how red the stalks are in these accessions. Also something that is distinguishing features. Here's another accession where you don't see a lot of this reddish color. So this material is preserved here, and we harvest in autumn tubers that we store in a refrigerator in case we lose them in the field here. Otherwise these plots overwinter, and we come back to make sure that we get the weeds growing in between the plots, and also pull out any plants that would grow from one plot to another, in order to make sure that we keep the material separate, the different accessions separate from each other, so that we can distribute this material from our Genebank.